Found this article from the Insider. Why, though Trump had tried to influence the election in other states, why only Georgia coming after him? This is going to be a great article, great discussion. We've got some major points to break out. It does reveal that Fani Willis is a complete attack dog, and that's part of it, is that she's more corrupt than other prosecutors. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, thank you guys for subscribing. Thanks for liking this show. Thanks for popping in. You've given us a great week. This channel is blowing up huge. Here's the headline. Georgia indicted Trump for trying to overturn the 2020 election. Why hasn't any other state gone after him besides Georgia? Why? I mean, surely Georgia isn't the only corrupt state. We know that. So far, it still stands. Georgia is the only state to indict Trump for trying to overturn the 2020 election. That might not be the case for long because other states can still jump in. Before I continue with this article, I'm going to take a brief break. You guys know I don't read ads, but this is promoting one of my friend's books, just really quick, and then we'll get right back to the rest of the news. I have this great book to recommend called Street Smarts. The link is down in the description. It's $20. This is a Christian book that is about using questions to share the gospel, but it is a Christian book. And this is by my friend, Greg Kokel, who I've known and supported for over 20 years, his ministry. Brilliant guy. Look, some of you guys, I see what some of my people search for on my channel. Some of you are searching for horoscopes and just bizarre theology. If you want to get put back on your feet on solid ground, biblical ground, and there's a link in the description also to Greg Kokel's podcast called Stand to Reason. Stand to Reason, it will get you back on the biblical path. I've heard Greg Kokel for 20 years now. He is a conversationalist. That is, he knows how to talk to people and he knows how to bring up the gospel. And there's some things in here that'll keep you from feeling guilty because, number one, it takes some of the heat off because he goes, look, some of you guys are just gardeners. You're here to plant and not necessarily harvest. And it's okay to be the person who's in charge of, say, tilling the soil or planting the seeds. Not every interaction with someone else needs to be hitting a home run and leading them to Jesus. Okay. So that's just one of the kind of teaching moments that he has. It's written as an armchair pastor philosopher. Okay. So it's not going to come off like this is not like a college class. It's brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but it's very conversational in the way it's written. I can't recommend it enough. It's only $20. We have the Amazon link below. You click that link. Some of you are Amazon shoppers, buy it. You can buy a copy for your grandkids. You can buy them for your spouse. And of course, you yourself should read it. I enjoyed reading it this week. I got an advanced copy. Can't recommend it enough. Street Smarts by Greg Kokel. Now back to our show. Here's point 2. But Trump also tried to declare victory in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and other states he lost. Well, right now, the big news is that there are other states. Hold on here. Let me find my article. Here's how the Insider put it. The criminal indictment against Trump and his 18 co-defendants from Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis has many wondering, why is a local prosecutor in Atlanta in charge of bringing a sprawling criminal case over the former president's scheme to overturn the 2020 election? Why little Fani Willis? I mean, because there's a warning about other states. Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith, after all, identified Arizona, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Nevada, New Mexico, and Wisconsin as places where Trump tried to stop electoral votes from being counted and is still reportedly examining the role of fake electors in those states. And by the way, guys, just as a note, don't think I'm buying any of this garbage, this BS, okay? This is purely political. Trump, we've seen Hillary, we've seen other presidents question electoral counts in other states. They did the same thing. It's only a problem for Trump because he's running and beating the hell out of Biden. The real reason why Georgia did it is because Georgia's laws against criminal conspiracy have sharper teeth. That's the RICO law. Georgia's RICO laws are slightly different than the other states that make them a little easier to go after Trump. Here's some other states that are starting to rumor about a Trump indictment. Attorneys general in Michigan, Wisconsin, and New Mexico, all of them Democrats, have referred information about fake elector schemes to the Justice Department, according to the Washington Post. So they could be going the grand jury route also. Aside from Georgia, Michigan has made the furthest strides in its criminal investigation into election interference. So look for it from Michigan as possibly another indictment. In July, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel announced charges against 16 fake electors who met in secret and fabricated documents stating Trump won the state, even though he lost by more than 150 votes. By the way, that it's a lie that when they call them fake electors, they're just alternate electors, something Democrats did all the time. Quote, this remains an ongoing investigation, and our department has not ruled out potential charges against additional defendants, Nessel said in the statement at the time. Nevada's attorney general has said the state's fake alternate electors would not face state-level charges. So Trump's good in Nevada. New Mexico's attorney general opened an investigation into the state's fake alternate electors that remains ongoing. Pennsylvania's former attorney general, Josh Shapiro, who is now the state's governor, said his state's fake alternate elector scheme was, quote, intentionally misleading and purposefully damaging to our democracy, unquote, but he did not meet, quote, the legal standards for forgery, unquote. Now, here's the thing about Georgia's RICO law. It's uniquely suited to this case. Each state has its own RICO statute, which were generally passed throughout the 20th century to crack down on mob organizations. In general, the laws allow prosecutors to bring criminal charges against people involved in a pattern of illegal activity. According to a Brookings Institution analysis, Georgia's RICO statutes includes an unusually large number of potential crimes that can form the basis of a RICO indictment. So this is the broadness, okay? Any, quote, attempt, solicitation, coercion, and intimidation, unquote, of another person to commit those crimes is also wrapped into the statute. So they go into kind of the motive of influence. You can just kind of flavor it with some influence and they can get you in Georgia, and they can't in other states. So Georgia has a unique take on the RICO law. That's why they ran this criminal enterprise through it. Other states may not have as much luxury to go after very vague attempts at Trump's going for alternate electors, so he might be safe over there. But just so you know, they did try. Democrats did try. Jack Smith tried. If you guys like this kind of in-depth study into the law, let us know in the comments below, because I can just do Whoopi Goldberg stuff all day. You got to give us a thumbs up. Maybe even send in a super chat or give us a comment saying, I like this crunchy stuff. Don't forget to pick up a copy of Street Smarts by my friend Greg Kokel. I'm Doug in Exile.